Zoom. And we're going to get into the newer piece of Title IV, piece that I need to go over even with the veterans. So you'll hear more about this if you come to the SF Academy in March. We'll get into this even more. But we will ask from our level for you to do some evaluations of what we're doing in the grants, specifically like N&D has one out there right now that's due in August coming back to me. Title IV is going to be the same. We have to report to the U.S. Department of Ed on specific things about certain grants. N&D is one of those, and Title IV is one of those. I told you that the ladies on my team, they all have a specialty area. So Lakeisha's is N&D. Martha helps a lot with Title IV. And the reason that I have somebody specific for Title IV is because they like to meet with us almost every month. So the requirements continue to go up for Title IV. Their conference is amazing. I will tell you that I do not anticipate this grant to go away. I anticipate it to continue to uptick in funding. So there are a lot of requirements associated with it. And this is another reason why I said they really encourage the funding to stay there in the grant and not be transferred out. They expect LEAs to learn it, to operate in it, and to enjoy it, and really get the bang for the buck out of this particular grant. So that being said, we are beginning to publicly report outcomes. So Theresa just went through the fact that this grant requires a logic model. So as a new person, you're going to sit at the stakeholders table and come up with a logic model to go along with this grant. What are the outcomes? What are the goals? How can this grant support that? And then you should be evaluating the objectives and the outcomes. And we have to report publicly on how, as a state, that is working. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I'm not going to BS it. I want to know if the goals are being met. Okay? If they're not, then we need to amend it. We need to revise it. Okay? And so what does that look like? We have to report on the objectives. Okay, what is an objective versus an outcome? The program objective is the goal that the program hopes to achieve. And then the outcome is the end result that are measured after you have implemented. And so we have to report on both. Okay, and here you see Title IV reporting requirement. They contact me and they say, let me see the report. So I have to pull the data from you to be able to report out as well. I will tell you that a lot of this is going to come from Martha Walker directly, because as I said yesterday, I'm the second level review for every grant. So I have a large job of looking on the second level and giving the director approval. I also help Sheree with allocations. I look behind Sarah with the grant award notifications. So she is a great contact for you if you need help with a logic model. So is your program manager. Okay, but I have her attending a meeting every month almost to keep abreast of this grant because they are so attentive to the district. This year, she and I were asked to come to DC in a spotlight for South Carolina. They like the strides that we have made and the expectations that we're about to put out. And so we went on a national level and talked about our state. So I'm very proud of that. There's a lot of hard work going into each of the grants, each of the specialty areas. And so what does it look like? LEA expenditure data reporting requirement. Report to us how the funds are being used to meet the distribution limits across the 3 budget categories annually. So we got to go into gaps and look at the expenditures per category. And in a minute, we're going to talk about that. Report the degree to which it has made progress towards meeting the objectives and the outcomes annually. And then we have to post that. Okay, so how do we go about doing that? States do it differently. So you're going to get a survey so that you can report on your objectives and goals and things like that. But then we also pull a gaps report on how much expenditure is in the well-rounded category. How much is being expensed in the technology category? So we're using both systems for this. Okay, Jennifer, what does that mean for me as a Title IV coordinator? Okay, if you are not the person that is doing the claiming in gaps, you're going to have to talk to the person who is doing the claiming in gaps. Because for Title IV, now when they submit claims for this grant only, okay, they have to list which of the 3 categories they are putting a claim in for. So what does that mean? They type in the words well-rounded, safe and healthy, or technology. They do that in gaps. Yes. Here's an example of what it would look like in a small up here. But they're going to type those words in. Now let's be real. Finance person isn't going to know and ain't going to care if it's well-rounded, safe and healthy technology problem. You are the one that's supposed to be doing that piece, the programmatic piece. So you go into the plan and look at which activity, which bucket of sorts it's in, and say to that person, okay, that activity is a well-rounded activity. Maybe you can give them the project ahead of time and say, as those things are coming through, this is what you need to look at so you know which category to write into gaps. Okay? Now, I know it sounds tedious and they might not want to do it, but it's either do it this way or I have to send you a survey and you send me everything you've claimed. This is much, much easier. Other states, in my opinion, do it a little bit different, and to me it's more tedious. Just type in WRT. I mean, if you want to abbreviate, you can. We will figure it out.
Quick question. If you're transferring the funds,
If you're transferring the funds, you do not have to do it. No. Okay. So what we will do is we'll go into gaps. We'll run the report. Well-rounded expenditures for the state, safe and healthy, and technology, and we'll run it for your district too. And it should match what is budgeted in the GEMS plan. Okay, that's your internal control, keeping the 2 systems matched up. Okay, and this is what it will look like on our website. We have to publicly report. Here down at the bottom, reports can be accessed. Okay. And here's an example of what it looks like per district. Now, that's not up to date, that's not the 24, but it gives you an example. Okay, so the data collection responsibilities, the next steps. The LEA should review the logic model and evaluate the degree to which they have met the FY 23 Title IV objectives and outcomes. Jennifer, why are you saying 23? Anybody know? Yeah, that one's almost done. So at this point, you should be evaluating how did it go? Okay, did we meet our outcomes? If you are new to the Title IV coordinator role, it will fall on you. Okay, you've got to evaluate the goals in that model and the outcomes. Martha will be sending a survey and you'll want to report on that. Okay, so go ahead and start evaluating that 23 grant. You report on the progress towards meeting those two things. It will be called a self-reporting survey form. Okay, then we will review that and we'll respond with any questions that we have prior to creating the public report. Okay, as you are doing this evaluation, right, this should help you understand going into the 25 grant. Okay, do I need to tweak some things? How's it working? Do we need a brand new logic model? Did we meet all those goals? Are we continuing that one that's in the 23 and the 24? Where are we? What should we be doing? We used the example of Pickens County earlier. She did that logic model. It was in there for 2 or 3 years. Okay, it depends on what the goal is for your district. You want it to work. You want it to make sense. This is not supposed to be a check off. Got that done. Okay, it's supposed to work for your district to help out. Okay, so the first step is understanding allowability in each of those content areas so that you can create a logic model to help the district meet needs. Okay, here's the steps for reviewing the logic model, analyzing your data, understanding where you are with the objectives, and then you will fill in the survey. And we'll do this as each grant ends. Okay, there's an exam, so you'll have it ahead of time before it ever comes to you. You can go ahead and be preparing. They're in your slides. Okay? You'll have it ahead of time. When you get to a question that asks you, like, does your LEA have data that supports the results you just reported? When you don't just answer yes, 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 because that's what Jennifer wants to hear, okay? You need to be honest. This is supposed to help with planning. And really, it should not be just Title IV that you are evaluating your programs and goals on. Okay? Although Title IV, we have specific documents that we've created to help towards that. We've talked yesterday about evaluating what's going on in Title I. It's the same for all the programs. You are supposed to, on your level, be evaluating each program. If you are audited, they're going to ask you how you're evaluating. So even if I don't call for it, you should have it in some form or fashion for each of the grants. How are we doing some evaluations on our goals, objectives, activities? Is it working? Is it not? How do we determine if we need to tweak or if we don't? Okay, keep it in the file. We're monitored by the U.S. Department of Ed. They're coming to me first, and then they're gonna come to somebody's district. And they will ask for whatever they want to see to. And these are questions that you can start asking yourself as you're learning the program. And think about this. Does the public report of your data tell the best story possible about your school or district's Title IV CARD program? Does your data collection and evaluation plan ask and answer the appropriate questions? What can you do to make the data collection easier and more effective for your school or district? Were the objectives specific enough to provide meaningful results and impact on students? All right. Martha has put a little action plan or resource in here for you. So when you get back and you're working with Title IV, go back to these slides and access these resources. Okay, there are more. If you're brand new to Title IV, I suggest you read the non-regulatory guidance. Start with that. Keisha came on board for N&D. I'm like, here's the non-regulatory guidance. Read it. I need to reread it. Read it. There's another link to the allowable use of funds document. It's in there multiple times. Okay, I did read earlier. So, we'll come down here to the end. Now. How are we feeling at this point? So I'm gonna give you a minute to talk at your table, okay? Then we'll talk together.